WWE is seemingly on a constant high at the moment, but this rubs a certain star the wrong way as he makes a big impact for the first time in a long time on the SmackDown after Survivor Series. L.A. Knight. You were chosen by the WWE to wield gold. We weren't so lucky. We were ignored. We were left to fend for ourselves, left to slaughter the ether alone. No more, because this is our vow. Everybody dies. Something is snapped with the King of Strong style, but what does he mean by we? Well, the following week, LA Knight has a similar question for Shinsuke as he has a promo in the middle of the show as he says, "Let me talk to ya! You know, I thought after I had whooped Andrade and Carmel Hayes' ass all the way to Kingdom Come that I had taken out the biggest dummies on the roster, but nada! I think I just found the biggest dummy in the history of professional wrestling because last week, a guy who hasn't even been capable of getting on TV for 4 months, a guy who refers to himself as we, as if he's a new Cybot, decided to take his shot with a cheap shot with a weapon. So why don't you try and do that again, Nakamura, but this time to my face?" Knight lays down the challenge, and Nakamura actually accepts. He walks out of the ring, but then he stops and says, "I don't need to, because we have already won." Omos is back, and he's joined sides with Shinsuke Nakamura, but why? Well, after laying out the megastar, Omos and Nakamura are asked as to why they have aligned, with Shinsuke saying, "Oh, you want to know why we decided to team up? We have the exact same motives. We both were casted out, left out of opportunities time after time. So people who stole our opportunities, well, I'll let Omos finish. Everybody will die, and that starts with you, LA Knight." And while he isn't the worst offender of those who took from us, he has something we want, something we can leverage for exposure: gold. So count your days as champ numbered, megastar, because we're coming for you, and we're coming for your championship. Yeah. Shinsuke lays out his motives for his new group, but they have another goal which is perfectly illustrated the following week: chaos. As one SmackDown arrives the following week, they lay out more people who they believe stole opportunities from them. They target people like Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and they give an extra beating to one half of the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jey Uso. But they leave their primary target to last, as Omos carries out the lifeless champ towards the ring, as Nakamura comes out shortly after. And whilst Omos plans the night for the announcer's table, Nakamura just observes with a microphone in hand as he says, "Next week, find yourself a victim to team with, and we'll take you on, and if we win, I better get a shot at your title." Nakamura lays down the challenge, which is accepted by the megastar shortly after, but before that, due to their actions, they have consequences, as the tag team champions try to take out the two men, but Omos' sheer size is too much for them to handle alongside Nakamura, and eventually, AWOL stand tall. But who will be LA Knight's partner? Well, before the match, Nakamura and Omos take out the Usos to ensure they won't interfere, so they're waiting for Knight to introduce his partner until one half of the Viking Raiders has returned to WWE and immediately makes a big impact on SmackDown, but not how people were expecting. Eric has joined AWOL, but why? Well, he has a backstage promo after his vicious assault as he says, "I've been healed for months. I could have wrestled for months, but no. Instead, I sat home away from making a living for my family. So now, everybody dies." Eric's motives are clear. Where do we go from here? Well, the following week, Nick Aldis announces a big 6-man tag team match between all of AWOL and the Usos on LA Knight, but with a big caveat. You know, I didn't want to comment on it, but Shinsuke, Omos, Eric, you three weren't good enough to be on my show until you proved yourselves worthy, and tonight is your big test. Defeat the champions, and you will receive championship shots. Lose, however, and I will personally ensure all three of you will be seeking new employment by the end of the week. Nick gives AWOL an ultimatum, but can they deliver? Well, a 6-man tag team match is underway, and the legal participants are Nakamura and LA Knight, and neither warrior holds back. They trade shots, although Knight eventually pushes him away, which allows the king of AWOL to tag out and allow Eric to be inside of a match for the first time in almost a year. And he starts dominating. He's hungry for a fight, and Knight is forced to tag out to Jimmy Uso. Both men forged their legacies through tag team wrestling, but now they must shine in a singles capacity. But once again, Eric is far too much for his opponent to handle. He's mauling Jimmy as if he's a Viking, but Jimmy eventually finds an opening, and he takes it to tag in the former main event Jey Uso, and Jey wants to fight. However, someone else does, as Omos is tagged into the match. It's a massive size mismatch between the two competitors, but Jey charges at the larger-than-life athlete, although Omos doesn't seem to be affected, and it seems he's been training as Omos starts dominating Jey, but he won't give up. AWOL try isolating and defeating Jey Uso, however nothing is seemingly working, and Jey eventually gets an opening to tag in the megastar. Thus the match continues until the crowd in WWE Universe sees something truly disturbing. Tegan Nox has joined AWOL as well. She's not been seen on TV for months. She's been vocal on social media that she's wanted an opportunity, but now she's taken it. And understandably, both the Usos very quickly abandoned the match to save Naomi, which leaves Knight on his own against 3 blood-hungry wrestlers. And with a brutal knee from Eric, a choke bomb by Omos, and a King Shasta by Shinsuke Nakamura, AWOL win, and the Usos are raging. They attempt to battle AWOL, however they're outnumbered, and in the end, the new faction stand tall. And due to their victory, Nick Aldis makes a big announcement for the week of the Royal Rumble. So AWOL, you won! Congratulations, you get your championship matches. Next week, in the opener, it'll be Eric and Omos taking on the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. In the middle of the show, Tegan Nox will take on Naomi due to the unprovoked assault, and at the Royal Rumble, LA Knight will defend his United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura, and to ensure there will be no interference, the match will be contested inside a steel cage. Nick has dropped an absolute bombshell on everyone, but can Eric and Omos overcome one of the greatest tag teams to ever live? Well, before the match, Eric comes out alone and says, "You know, I wasn't the only one left to rot. And Omos, he has different aspirations than me. So let me introduce you to my tag team partner." And his partner is none other than Ivar, who and Machine have been reunited, and their first match back together is for the Usos Tag Team Gold. So the match is on, and the Usos try using their chemistry to keep the bigger men at bay, but it isn't working. They're too strong. Eric and Ivar completely dominate both men. It's looking hopeless for the Usos to retain, but they keep on fighting regardless. They even manage to start taking over the match with their tag team chemistry, but they can't keep either man down. So here comes Shinsuke Nakamura. He's going to try and ensure AWOL's victory. However, the United States champion isn't too far behind, as the two men begin brawling on the ramp. And with the brawling going towards the backstage area, the match resumes, although it isn't for long, as whilst Eric takes out Jimmy Uso on the outside, Ivar catches Jey and nails a huge powerbomb. And with that, we see new tag team champions. Everyone is stunned, but AWOL aren't, as in the end, AWOL completely and utterly stand tall. But can Tegan Nox stand tall in her return match? Well, it seems she's unlocked a different side to her, as she's demolishing Naomi. She's using her kicks and strikes to obliterate her. However, Naomi is still a fantastic talent, as she tries fighting back against the vicious Nox, but with the shiniest wizard, Tegan takes quick care of her opponent. Nakamura loves it, but can he go 3 for 3 for AWOL and become United States Champion? Well, the match is on at the Royal Rumble, and it's a very physical affair. They're throwing strikes at each other with reckless abandon, and they even begin using the steel cage to their advantage. However, Nakamura's strong style wrestling begins to overwhelm the megastar, and with that, he begins using the steel to his advantage more and more throughout the match. It's looking bleak for the champ, but Knight won't quit. He continues fighting, and eventually he manages to create enough separation for him to climb the structure. Is he going to try to escape? Well, it's looking like he might want to jump off on Shinsuke, but the King of Strong Style is too quick. He catches up to Knight, and now both men sit in a precarious position. It's do or die for both men. They're trading shots as if there's no tomorrow, but the Nakamura does the unthinkable. Knight is done, and Nakamura climbs out the structure and officially becomes United States Champion. AWOL have all the gold, and with that, the first chapter of AWOL has been complete. And if you like this story, I think this might interest you.